Today is a day to begin again, a Stoic lesson from Easter. What if I told you that today, this very moment, could be the beginning of a new chapter in your life, that regardless of what's happened before, you have the power to begin again? Welcome, friends. Today we're exploring a profound connection between the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and the timeless message of Easter, the power of renewal, resurrection, and beginning again. And whether you approach this topic from a philosophical, spiritual, or purely practical perspective, I believe there's something valuable here for everyone. So settle in and let's embark on this journey together. Introduction to theme. Before we dive deep, I want to acknowledge something important. We all carry burdens, regrets, mistakes, failures that haunt us. Dreams we've abandoned, relationships we've damaged. These weights can feel permanent, can't they? As if they define who we are and limit who we can become. But both Stoicism and Easter share a radical message. Nothing is permanent. Everything can be transformed, and every moment offers the possibility of beginning again. Today we'll explore the Stoic practice of daily renewal, how Easter represents the ultimate symbol of rebirth, practical techniques to apply these principles in your everyday life, and how to maintain this practice when life inevitably challenges you. Part 1, the Stoic practice of renewal. Let's begin with the Stoics. These ancient philosophers from Greece and Rome developed a sophisticated approach to life that emphasized virtue, resilience, and living in accordance with nature. Unlike many philosophies that remain theoretical, Stoicism was deeply practical. It wasn't about intellectual debates, it was about daily practices that transformed how you lived. Central to Stoic practice was the idea of continuous renewal. Each morning, Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and devoted Stoic, would remind himself. This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. By mentally rehearsing challenges, Marcus was preparing himself to respond virtuously rather than react emotionally. But more importantly, each day was a fresh start. The Stoics practiced what we might call daily resurrection, the conscious choice to begin again, regardless of yesterday's failures. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher who began life as a slave, taught that we should focus exclusively on what's within our control. The past, beyond our control. The future, largely beyond our control. What remains is this present moment, and our choice of how to respond to it. This is the first lesson in our journey. The past doesn't determine your future unless you allow it to. Every morning is a new opportunity to align yourself with virtue, wisdom, and purpose. In my own life, I've found this daily practice of beginning again to be transformative. Let me share how I apply this. Part 2. Easter as the ultimate symbol of rebirth. Now let's turn to Easter. Regardless of your personal religious beliefs, Easter stands as perhaps the most powerful symbol of renewal in Western culture. At its core, Easter tells the story of death and resurrection, the ultimate beginning again, a situation that appeared final and hopeless, transformed into new life and possibility. What's fascinating is how this theme transcends specific religious doctrine. We see it echoed in nature itself, winter giving way to spring, seeds dying in the ground before sprouting new life. This cyclical pattern of death and rebirth speaks to something fundamental in the human experience. We instinctively recognize that endings can become beginnings, that what appears to be failure may be preparation for something greater. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard captured this when he wrote, "Easter teaches us that our greatest setbacks, even death itself, need not be the end of the story. There is always the possibility of transformation, of beginning again." I want to share a powerful example of this principle in action. The message is clear. No matter how final your failure seems, the possibility of rebirth remains. This isn't magical thinking. It's a profound truth about the nature of existence itself. Part 3. The synthesis. Practical Stoic renewal. Now comes the exciting part. How do we synthesize these ancient wisdoms into practical tools for modern life? I've developed what I call the begin again practice, a daily ritual that combines Stoic wisdom with the transformative power of the Easter message. Step 1. Morning reflection. Each morning, take 5 to 10 minutes to reflect on the day ahead. Like Marcus Aurelius, acknowledge that you'll face challenges, but also set an intention for how you want to show up today, regardless of yesterday's failures. Step 2. The memento mori perspective. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering that we are mortal. This wasn't morbid. It was clarifying. When you recognize life's brevity, you stop postponing your best self. Each day is in essence a little lifetime. We die to yesterday and are born again today. This perspective makes transformation urgent rather than something to postpone. Step 3. Identify your tombs. What in your life feels final? What dream, relationship, or version of yourself feels dead and buried? Easter teaches us that tombs can be empty, that what appears permanent may be temporary. I encourage you to journal about one area where you've given up hope, where you've accepted failure as final. This becomes your focus for renewal. Step 4. The practical resurrection. Now choose one small action that represents beginning again in this area. Not the complete solution, just the first step. Remember that all great transformations begin with a single humble action. Step 5. Evening review. Before sleep, review your day with compassion, not judgment. Where did you succeed? Where did you fall short? The Stoics called this the examination of conscience. The key is to end with this thought: tomorrow I begin again. This isn't procrastination. It's recognition that renewal is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Let me show you how this works in practice. Part 4. Overcoming obstacles to renewal. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room. This all sounds wonderful in theory, but we all know life throws complications at us. What are the common obstacles to this practice of renewal, and how do we address them? Obstacle 1, shame and regret. Perhaps the greatest barrier to beginning again is our attachment to past failures. Shame tells us we don't deserve renewal. Regret keeps us looking backward instead of forward. The Stoic response? Recognize that regret serves no purpose unless it leads to better choices now. The Easter response? Understand that transformation often requires leaving something behind in the tomb. Obstacle 2, external judgment. Sometimes other people want to keep us defined by our past. They've created a story about who we are, and our renewal threatens that narrative. Both Stoicism and Easter offer the same solution. Your transformation is not subject to others' approval. Marcus Aurelius wrote, Obstacle 3, the expectation of perfection. Many of us abandon the practice of renewal because we expect immediate, perfect results. When we inevitably stumble, we give up. The solution is to understand that beginning again is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. You will fail. You will forget. And then you will begin again. That's not failing at the practice. That is the practice. Let me share how I've navigated one of these challenges in my own journey. Share authentic 2-3-minute story about overcoming an obstacle to renewal. Part 5, Living the Renewed Life. As we approach the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a vision of what's possible when you embrace this practice of continuous renewal. A life of beginning again doesn't mean erasing the past. Your scars remain, but they become wisdom rather than wounds. Your failures become teachers rather than tormentors. The Stoics would say you develop equanimity, a calm acceptance of what is, coupled with clear-eyed action toward what could be. From the Easter perspective, you experience resurrection life, the freedom that comes from knowing that no failure is final unless you decide it is. This isn't about toxic positivity or denying reality. It's about recognizing a deeper reality, that transformation is always possible, that renewal is built into the very fabric of existence. In my own life, this practice has share brief, authentic reflection on how this practice has changed your life. Conclusion and call to action. My friends, today is a day to begin again, not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when circumstances improve. Today, I invite you to start with just one area of your life where you've given up hope. Apply the begin again practice we've discussed today. Start small, but start now. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that renewal is possible. And drop a comment below sharing one area where you're choosing to begin again. Your vulnerability may inspire others. Remember, the Stoics and the Easter story agree on this profound truth. What appears to be the end may actually be the beginning. The tomb may be empty, and today, this very moment, is a day to begin again. Until next time, friends.